Don't put your fucking hands up.
I've been doing PI work for a few years now, and there's cases that you get where it just kind of makes your blood boil. Any sort of crime against a child, an elderly person, somebody innocent, hit and runs, that type of stuff. But one that's always like especially bothered me, and there's so many of them, is domestic abuse. This first case I'm going to cover, and I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I do plan on actually having a whole episode, maybe even devoted to this guy. But he's actually not a fugitive that we were looking for. He's not on the run. I saw him in the news, and it interested me. Given his appearance, I thought, wow, this guy's really made a lot of mistakes. So I started looking at his case files, and he is an absolute terrible human being. Several domestic assaults. This is Albert Coy out of Tomball, Texas. And I noticed that some of these cats like this that claim to be banging, I don't know if he's affiliated with a gang or not. I mean, he definitely looks the part, but they move out to the suburbs, Tomball, Katy, the Woodlands, and they want to act like they're Nino Brown out there to be the big fish in a smaller pond. It's just the lamest thing. I guess they couldn't cut it inside the loop, so they got to move out to the burbs. But let's talk about old Albert Coy. Recently was arrested, I think a couple days ago. He's sitting at what's that place called? Sam's Boat? The Boat? Let me see what the name of it is. Captain Tom's. He's over there at Captain Tom's off of 1960 in the Willowbrook area. He's drinking, he's hanging out with his girlfriend. I believe she's been with him for 4 years. And I imagine that he's been drinking, but I don't know. But he's arguing with his gal, and apparently he's saying some stuff that's not so nice. And if you know Tom's or Captain Tom's, it's an actual boat. So you're sitting next to people. You're very close together. There's not like there's a bunch of tables. It's just one big bar. So the people that are sitting next to him are another couple, and they hear what he's saying to her, which is like, I'm gonna break your teeth, I'm gonna bust your mouth. So the couple speaks up and is like, don't talk to her like that, bro. We're not gonna sit by while you talk to her like that. So a little bit of an argument ensues. Albert runs out to his car. Albert, the convicted felon, runs out to his car, grabs a rifle, not sure what kind, I don't know if it was AR, AK, comes back in the bar and threatens to shoot it up. Doesn't, thank God, shoot up. He flees. I think his girlfriend was like rushing people out the back, trying to keep him safe. He flees. The cops go to his house, arrest him. That's the news story that I saw. And when I started to look more into him, I'm seeing a habit of beating up on women. In fact, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 charges. Some of them were dismissed because he was convicted of another crime, but 5 charges of aggravated assault of family member, continuous violence against the family, assault family member with previous conviction, assault family member with previous conviction, deadly conduct, assault bodily injury, burglary. And these aren't, and I'm going to read the complaint or part of the complaint. I'm not going to show them to you because they have the victims' names. And I've talked to some of the victims and they're terrified of him. Here's one. Get a little insight into how Albert thinks. The defendant became angry with the complainant for an unknown reason. The complainant, which is his girlfriend or wife, stated that the defendant punched her with a closed fist, head and arms, with a closed fist in the face, head and arm area, and kicked her in the torso and leg, causing her pain and injury. The complainant stated when they arrived at the defendant's residence, she jumped from the vehicle, ran into an open garage at the residence located on Northern Drive to get away from him. The complainant stated the defendant followed her in the garage, grabbed her, causing her to fall to the ground. The complainant stated that this caused her pain. The complainant advised the affiant, which is the police officer, that she was able to break free from the defendant's grasp and run towards another residence. She banged on the door for help. The complainant once again followed her grabbed her and drug her by her leg and shirt and clothing, it says, causing swelling, bruising, and small lacerations. So that's one. If you need more, there's many more. The defendant on February 12, 2023 did then and unlawfully threaten, I'm not going to mention the name, hereafter styled as the complainant, a person who had a dating relationship with imminent bodily injury by exhibiting a deadly weapon, namely a firearm. Here's another one. The police come and talk to the complainant. The complainant says she was physically assaulted by her boyfriend, who she knows by name and sight as Albert Koy. The defendant became angry with her for an unknown reason. The complainant stated that the defendant punched her in the face, head and arm, kicked her in the torso and leg, causing pain. She suffered swelling, bruising, and a small laceration to her eye. Here's another one. The complainant, the victim, told the affiant she knows the defendant by name and sight. They're living in an apartment together. The defendant punched her in the arm, back, head, legs, causing pain and bruising. He then got on top of her and slammed the back of her head into the floor several times, causing her to near loss of consciousness. The defendant also poured liquid detergent on her face and in her mouth. While the complainant went outside to meet with the deputies, the defendant left the apartment and could not be located. Holy smokes. Here's one more and then we'll move on. Police were dispatched to the Cypress Fairbanks Medical Center at Steepletop Drive. The police met with the victim and found her to be reliable and credible. She knows him by sight as Albert Coy, a person that she had a dating relationship, and the father of her unborn child. On April 27th, the defendant became upset that the complainant had not returned with his vehicle within a sufficient amount of time. The defendant then struck the complainant in the left side of the face with an open hand, causing pain. He then proceeded to punch her in the left eye, causing the left eyelids to swell, bruise, and become cut. So he beat the shit out of his pregnant girlfriend. So I'm going to be attempting to interview some folks. I've reached out and put some feelers. I talked to one of the victims. I'm not going to say who it is. She still hasn't all the way agreed for an interview, but I'm going to try to interview her and figure out what's wrong with this guy. Currently, he's in Harris County. He was already in Harris. He was already on bond for hitting a guy with a tire iron. It was in the news. You might have seen it, but he was on bond for that. Wasn't even showing up to court. They didn't revoke him right away. The judge, after he picked up these new charges, he was revoked, thank God, and his bond is denied so far. We don't know. Things change. You know, you get a good lawyer in there and they maybe make argument and they give him bond again. We're going to be keeping an eye on it. If he does get bond and he gets that bond revoked, we're absolutely going to do everything we can to go lock this guy up. Now let's jump into a wanted fugitive, Ernest Christopher Nathan, out of Houston, Texas, wanted in Harris County. So this guy's on a first date with a girl down at a food truck called Clutch City Cluckers. He's, I guess, getting in an argument with her. First date, they knew each other about 2 weeks. First date, he's arguing with her. Somebody steps up, just like in the last case. Somebody steps up and is like, don't talk to her like that, bro. Mr. Ernest decides that that's a level of disrespect that he's unable to take. Proceeds to pull a firearm and shoots the guy, kills him. We actually have some footage of the crime, some security cam footage, so let's take a look at that. If you see this guy, give us a call. I'm going to put the number below. He's 6 foot tall, about 200 pounds, considered extremely armed and dangerous. Don't approach him. Give us a call. He could potentially be in Georgia. He could be still in Houston. He has ties to Georgia. So give us a call if you see this guy. Let's work on getting him off the street. Now, our last case of the night is another piece of shit who's aggravated assault on a family member with previous conviction. Love beating up all them women, huh? That's bad paperwork. You know that, right? Like if Albert or this guy gets locked up in the pen in TDCJ, that's bad paperwork. You don't want to go to prison because you beat up on a woman. You ain't gonna be running shit. I'll tell you that much. I've known and talked to enough people that have been to prison. And you don't want paperwork like that. Unfortunately, I should say fortunately, because I don't want none of my buddies here getting in any sort of situations like that. But he went pretty quiet. Part of me was hoping they would have to tase him, but we want to be by the book, and if he's not doing nothing wrong, if he goes quietly, then he goes quietly.
Don't put your fucking hands up.
Okay.
Get on the fucking bed.
I am.
You got any weapons on you?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Pants.
What is it?
2 pistols.
2 pistols? Oh. Crazy, huh? Lift his arms up.
He's in the front.
No, not even just with it, bro.
I know.
Let's hear him.
Try this one like this. This one like this.
These 2? Is it? You sure?
Yeah.
Get up.
Alright,
Bro,
No, I'm trying to search him. Oh my
okay,
goodness.
I'm not being aggressive though, bro.
No, I got you.
I'm not being aggressive.
We ain't gonna rough you up. We just gotta search you,
Yeah.
alright? Got your wallet or anything? Your ID?
No.
No, got nothing? Alright.
But can I please get a cigarette I can smoke real quick, bro? I didn't give
I'll let you. I'll let you. I'll let you
bullshit,
smoke.
bro.
I'll let you smoke. Where is that?
Right there.
I'm not letting you smoke that weed because I gotta put you in my car.
That's going to do it for this evening, folks. Thanks for checking us out. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate all the support. If you guys have any cases that you'd like to see covered or anything specific, leave them in the comments. We were talking about possibly doing a predator catch. We don't know yet. We want to coordinate with the police so it actually leads to an arrest. But we're thinking of doing some other stuff. But your ideas and your critiques, your comments are always welcome. Oh, and if you're a bad guy, like Albert Coy, let me give you some advice. And something else I noticed, and I don't proclaim to know everything about the justice, the way the justice system works, but I noticed that on a lot of his judgments, it's like 6 months, 5 months. I think he got one for 1 year. And I'm starting to notice this more and more as I look at these cases. It's like, even if the criminal has just a history of violence, kidnapping, assault, he gets, I don't want to call it a slap on the wrist, but 6 months. It's just, I don't get it. I'm reaching out. We've made contact with somebody that works at Harris County. I'm not going to say his name yet, but we're working on getting an interview to kind of figure out, like, what is the thought process behind some of this stuff. It feels like the justice system hasn't always been fair to folks. Maybe it's been racial, ethnic reasons, financial reasons for sure. The poor do not get a fair shake. And we've noticed these things, and that's way over here. That's an extreme. And we want to rectify that. But instead of like trying to be as impartial and fair that we can be, we take it to the extreme other side of it, where it's like, okay, well, this guy, I feel bad for him. Maybe he had a bad childhood or something like that, and that's why he likes to kidnap and beat up women. So we're going to give him a low bond. We're going to give him time to go say bye to his family. We're going to, oh, you didn't show up to court. You better show up next time or I'm going to get you. And then they dismiss these charges because he's convicted in another case. I'd like to know why that is. Why is that? And I've seen that before, you know, like somebody driving without a license and they get it for a DUI, right? He's got no license and he's got a DUI. They'll dismiss that because they're going to pack it into one. I get that. But for these heinous type of charges, why in the fuck would you dismiss anything? Hammer his ass with every fucking charge you can because he keeps getting out. And when he gets out, he's not learning any lessons. It's not like the guy who makes a mistake. I've made a mistake, to be completely transparent. I've been in trouble with the law before. It wasn't anything heinous like this. But you can make a mistake and get hemmed up real quick. And I'm all for reformation of the justice system. And I'm all for giving people a shot to get better. But the key to forgiveness is not saying I'm sorry. The key to forgiveness is never doing it again. And when you have a habit 4 or 5 times of beating up on your gal, and we just let his ass right back out after 6 months, you think he's going into 6 months, he's probably not even going to prison. He's probably just going to jail. You think he's learning good stuff in jail? I think it's time, and I'm going to be very slow to speak here and quick to listen because, like I said, I don't know everything. But I think it's time that we start holding these judges accountable. It's like the case from last week. Let him, or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember what it was, but let a murderer out to say bye to his family. You know who didn't get a chance to say bye to their family? His 2 victims that he shot to death. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Albert Coy. It won't be hard because his face looks like a broken Etch-a-Sketch. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on him. And if they do let his ass out and he misses court one time, I'm going to beg whatever bail company put up money. I'm going to beg them that they give that case to us. And I'm personally going to go with the guys and bust this guy. It's ridiculous. Aggravated assault family member with previous conviction. But I find it funny, man. I find it real funny that these are the same people that walk around town acting tough. They go around town acting tough. Nino Brown of Tomball, Texas. Tomball used to be a nice area. I remember going out to Tomball when I was younger. It was nice. It was suburban. Like the kids with the leather jackets, having keggers and stuff. It was like that, man. I don't know why, if you want to gangbang, you'd move to Tomball.